Hey, Chris Allen here live on the SAM channel this afternoon. Here it is, Friday, June 30th. The 4th of July weekend is beginning. And as forecast, we've got some rapidly developing severe weather here in southern Kentucky. Severe thunderstorm watch now in effect for some of our western counties. And we've got rapidly developing storms that are producing large hail. Let me show you on radar. And sorry, there wasn't a fair warning about this, but it looked like nothing was going to develop today, and then all of a sudden, these things just start exploding. The concern right now is this severe thunderstorm warning that is ongoing in parts of Barron County. Let me read it to you. You can see it here on the screen. Severe thunderstorm warning until 5:45 for northeastern Barron and western Metcalfe counties. Severe thunderstorm located just east of Glasgow, moving very slowly at only 20 miles an hour, 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, and half-dollar sized hail. Now, that's a big problem because we're getting some reports of very large hail right now in the city of Glasgow. Hard. A friend of mine there just texted me. The hail is coming down very hard. And we're also getting reports of larger than a half-dollar size hail that has been coming down with some other thunderstorms that are developing to the west. So this can do damage to your vehicles, roofs, siding, and trees in the path. Of course, the city of Glasgow, as I said, we're getting verification of large hail falling there. Edmonton, Cave City, Oil City, Echo, Coral Hill, on down to Griderville, Pritchardsville, Lecta, and the Glasgow Municipal Airport. Now, I'm looking at a hail core here with right inside the city of Glasgow and a little east. This is what's called the vertically integrated liquid product coming from the Doppler radar, and it's really putting down some very heavy rain and also some large hail in that gray shaded area, which is within the city of Glasgow, as you can see. And following the parkway, here's the parkway, 31E, 68. And as you go out to the east around the Lecta community, around the Keno community, um, it's incredibly large hail, and there's also incredible rainfall that is falling right now in the city of Glasgow. So this, with the large hail doing some damage, knocking leaves off the trees, and coming down, it's also going to start to fill up some of the drainage areas. So that's going to cause some flooding with the very heavy rain that is coming down. And there may be street flooding. There may be some other type of flooding going on. And now I just got a flash flood warning in effect for Hopkins County and new severe thunderstorm warning. No, that's the one I'm looking at right now. Okay, I just want to make sure um, that we were looking at the right thing. Okay, I'm just checking here. Um, this is behind me is the chat room with the National Weather Service, so I'm checking with them. Looks like we're going to get a new severe thunderstorm watch for our area. That will include Bowling Green. The one that's out there right now doesn't include Bowling Green. So I'm getting several friends of mine who are like, okay, we're doing stuff outdoors. I know concerts in the park, getting ready to have, nothing is here in Bowling Green yet. You see a like yesterday, lightning strikes though outside of the main area. Let me go to the reflectivity. Yeah, okay. Here is the severe storm outside of Glasgow or moving through the Glasgow area. Let me expand the view. Here is where the current severe thunderstorm watch is until 11 o'clock tonight. It comes as far east as, you know, places like Elkton, Greenville, Central City. But the worst of the storms right now coming through Madisonville. And as I posted online a few minutes ago, all of this is kind of moving off in a southeast fashion. Just like yesterday, all of these they're forming very rapidly and then just really moving off to the southeast. Some of these are very slow, but other ones are producing just copious amounts of rain and large hail. Let me see what this looks like a new severe thunderstorm. Okay, this is the severe thunderstorm watch in effect for northern middle Tennessee until 11, but I'm thinking the Weather Service is going to add in our counties as well and connect them all together on this map that you see now. So, I've got friends of mine. There's an outdoor concert or event going on in Franklin. There's a little bit of activity that's trying to get going there, but it's having a hard time holding together. But this is the biggest concern right now is this cluster of thunderstorms now rolling through the Barren River Lake area. If you're out there toward the lake, you're seeing a lot of this off in the distance to your north and east from Haywood and 252 and 31E up to the Parkway in the city of Glasgow, and then eastward as you go out toward Echo and you go out toward Edmonton. If you're traveling 6880 east toward Metcalfe County, that's where a lot of this is going on toward Wisdom. And in those particular areas, that's the area getting hardest hit right now with lots of falling hail and very, very heavy rainfall. So all of this is happening just in rapid fashion. I'm just checking a few things here to see. Um, okay. So they're issuing a discussion about the next watch that is going to go into effect. And here's the concern. We've got everything riding up and over the ridge of high pressure. Plus, as I mentioned this morning, if you were watching my podcast, I said the thing to watch out for, this boundary could be a trigger for thunderstorms this afternoon. I mean, today has been probably the soupiest day of the mugginess that's in the air. It's so thick, but it's also so superheated that it kind of put a lid on the atmosphere and kept thunderstorms from building until the last hour. And then these things have just exploded. And because of that, they're going to rain. These things are going to be like microbursts. These things are going to be like we had, what was it, Sunday night, Monday morning, where these things just collapse down to the ground. And with that collapsing, there's going to be incredible wind, incredible rain, and then lots of hail because these things have built up so high, probably 30,000 feet or higher. And that's where everything is super cooled, forms ice, and then ice gets bigger and bigger as it just rotates up and down, the up and down motion in that thunderstorm. And then that ice comes down, and sometimes it's big. In this case, we've had, with all those warnings you see back in Hopkins County, Muhlenberg County, looks like it goes back into Crittenden and Webster counties. That's where we're getting reports of very large hail, $half size hail, about like that. The hail that's being reported in Glasgow. I've not had confirmation how big it is, but I'll ask a friend of mine who is there. He just says it is coming um, down very hard. I'm going to ask him. Um, how big is the hail? Let's see here. Severe thunderstorm watch. Yeah, this is going to include all of our counties now until 11 o'clock. So that should be coming across your weather radios, if not already. So it includes Adair, Allen, Barron, Butler, Clinton, Cumberland, Edmondson, Grayson, Greene, Hancock, Hart, Logan, Metcalf, Monroe, Ohio, Russell, Simpson, and Warren until midnight Eastern, but 11 o'clock Central. So you'll see these counties being painted in here momentarily, and counties in northern Middle Tennessee as that watch comes up. Let me turn on chat here. I haven't turned that on yet. So I'm getting some reports from some of you. Okay, my friend, a lot of you know Danny Wilson, friend of mine. We go on the road trips that you see that I post. He lives right in Glasgow. He says it's larger than pea size. I, it's probably melting a little bit. And that's the thing. You can get radar indicated very large hail. And then as it, on a hot day like this and muggy day, as that piece of ice comes down, it can actually melt a little bit before it reaches the ground and be a lot smaller. Okay, here is probably the watch or no, this is a warning, probably. Metcalf.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for north central Monroe County in south central Kentucky, Barron County in south central Kentucky, southern Metcalf County in south central Kentucky, until 6:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 5:42 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 13 miles east of Plum Springs to near Glasgow to Edmonton, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Glasgow, Edmonton, 88, Red Cross, Curtis, Coral Hill, Pritchardsville, Lecta, Haywood, and Willow Shade. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
Okay, you heard the warning. That's coming off of SAM 100.7. Continue to monitor SAM as those instant bulletins are coming through. He says the hail is picking up now in Glasgow, and you can clearly hear it. He hasn't sent me, I thought he sent me a picture, but he hasn't. You know, the temperature is 94, heat index at about 104, 105. And these storms, as they build this way, it's taking in all that mugginess that we have felt today, like we're wearing, where it's the air that you wear. I mean, as soon as you step outside, that's moisture, and is so thick that these storms just tap into that and boom. And that's what's happening, but they're rapidly collapsing as they come down with very heavy rainfall, very large hail, and damaging wind gust, very likely. Let me see here. Bill sending someone else a message who's hosting an outdoor event, and they wanted me to text them as soon as. Oh, I shouldn't have said that, because then all of you will want me to do that. Okay. uh, Okay, to your west. So, okay. So we've got dime size to nickel size hail coming into Glasgow or coming down in Glasgow. Trees are swaying from the intense rainfall and wind. But in the city of Glasgow, zoom in here, there's Glasgow. It's starting to taper off, which is good. But still down 31E to Haywood, on down to the lake. Look out. And then as you take Highway 90 toward 88 Kentucky and over toward Keno, Slick Rock, Lecta, Randolph, Wisdom, you get over into Metcalfe County, then Summer Shade. That's where it's really rapidly just Temple Hill even coming down hard. And as you can see, it's moving off to the southeast. Let's take a look at the hail on that. And the hail cores have decreased just a little. And again, when these storms collapse, it's going to do its worst at the very beginning, and then it starts to ease off. And like I said, some of those hailstones that were much bigger, like quarter size or $50 size, because there's so much heat out there, some of those those ice chunks of ice may melt before they even reach the ground. Radar may depict that they're large, but then by the time they reach the ground, they may have already melted a little bit. And that could be the case just because it's so hot outside when you get near the surface. But there's your hail that's showing up outside of Glasgow now. It looks like Haywood down 31E toward the lake, Bristletown, that's as you head down toward Roseville and then Etoile in that area. That's where the core of the worst of the hail is going on right now. So that's got to be watched. There's a little broad rotation and looking at the velocity here, but it's not anything that is alarming. But it's nonetheless, there's very broad rotation. Uh, so right now, Bowling Green, you're okay. I know a lot of people are going to the concerts. The concert in the park will soon get underway. Just hopefully you've got your phones and you can watch a radar app, or you can, keep up to date with the weather and get bulletins. Here's the other concern: is all of this back to the west is continuing to build and move off to the southeast. And now you see all these counties are under the new severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock tonight. And that does include Warren County and the Bowling Green area, because these storms are just going to continue to build with the heat of the day. And now they're building even more and just kind of following the dome of high pressure. And you see the low pressure system here and the frontal boundary, they're all following that. So everything is going to come back and just kind of fall off down to the south and east pretty rapidly. More thunderstorms are forming back into southern Illinois and along the Ohio River and up toward Henderson, Evansville, all those places that were hit hard yesterday. Right now, the main area is, and there's a tornado warning now that has come out for, that looks like radar indicated Hopkins County. Tornado warning until 6:30. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado 7 miles west of Earlington or 8 miles west of Madisonville, moving southeast very slowly at 25. So it looks like it's going to be in the Earlington area around 6:05 here in a few minutes. Morton's Gap and Nortonville in line of that possible tornado. Interstate 69, Penny Rowell Parkway, all of those areas. So that's a new tornado warning for Hopkins County. We'll inspect that because now here's the thing: see that red dot? That's the radar site out of Fort Campbell. It is down. It went down, I think, yesterday in the storms, and it hasn't been back up. So we're depending. I'm gonna have to go to the Paducah radar, which is right here. We'll change radar sites and get a better view of this possible tornado. It's radar indicated, so we'll see what's in there. Velocity. Yeah, there's some rotation. Broad, I'm seeing broad rotation, but they may be seeing it from a different view that I'm. But this is the Paducah radar. I don't see anything really tight. I think they're just, as a precaution, maybe going with that because it's just a bit suspect. Let me run the loop. That looks more, to me, it looks more downbursty than it does tornadic, but they may be seeing something that I cannot see from this vantage point. But nonetheless, there's that tornado warning. Unless, and sometimes you'll see these little inflow notches, like this looks like an inflow notch here, and they may be looking at maybe this right here outside of the Charleston area. I don't know, but I'm trying to. There's some lightning, a lot of lightning up toward Coyltown, Richland, Beulah. All of this again is southwest of Madisonville, Hopkins County. So anyway, that's about. All right, let me get out of this and go back. To our mess that is going on outside of Glasgow. No rotation there. This is just all this is very evident of a collapsing storm with just a lot of wind and hail. Absolutely. Oh, the hail core has come back a little bit more now. See, we get some back building, and this is what's happening here. See how that at the beginning it was all kind of right here, and now it's starting to be more west, and then this pops up. These storms are back building in succession of each other. One collapses, throws out a little boundary, and then another one builds back behind it. That's what's happening. That's what you're watching here. And so it's like Glasgow, you've already gotten pounded with hail, and now you're getting pounded with more just back west of you along 6880 and the Cumberland Parkway west of Glasgow, almost to the Warren County line. It's crazy. These things are just back building, collapsing and back building, collapsing and back building. It one after the other. But that's the way it looks on radar. Okay, I want to get to some of your messages because I haven't had a chance yet to look. No power. Where is no power? Brian Hagen, no power. Where would that be? I'd like to know. Hail in Glasgow, nickel size hail being reported, large hail. Some are saying it's horrible outside in Glasgow. Okay, lots of thunder and lightning. Yeah. Yeah, these are just okay. Brian says near Bots Plumbing. That's in Glasgow, right? Bots Plumbing, Glasgow. Thank you. Appreciate it, Brian. I thought so. I see the trucks out every once in a while. Okay. Um, I'm just continuing to watch what comes down from the weather service. We've got some trees down in Glasgow. Yeah, I don't doubt it. So the that tornado warning continues until 5, no, 6:30. 6:30 for Hopkins County, that I showed you on the radar. You see, you can even look at the radar and see how they have the severe thunderstorm watch kind of in an arc, and then going from northwest and then trending off to the southeast. Again, it's that big dome of high pressure that keeps forcing those storms up and over the ridge, and they come right through here. They get steered down to the south and southeast, and they come right through here. So um okay, I've got my friend in Franklin who's like, what do we need to do? I would say you need to put everything up. Okay, I'm telling him. So he knows because he's outdoors with an event running audio, sound, stage, lights, microphones, audio stuff, lightning, heavy rain, hail. Mm-mm. Nope. Cover it up, get it inside. That's what I told him. These storms mean business. I mean, I kept wait. It's like this afternoon, I was just looking at everything and I'm looking at the radar, and this is about 3:30. And I'm like, nothing's happening. Everything's capped off. And I thought, this is not going to happen till tonight. I thought very sure, just the way it felt and the way it looked, looking at the dew points, looking at, at first the clouds weren't building up, they were just low topped. And then all of a sudden they started breaking the cap. They started knocking the lid off of the atmosphere. And this is the result. This is what's happening now. Rapid development of these thunderstorms. And I'm telling you, they pack a punch bad. You don't need to be outdoors when all this is going on. Um, they're very electrical, in addition to just throwing down a lot of rain and hail, damaging wind. There's down trees. I just saw reports coming out of Glasgow. So they mean business. Um, when you guys are posting in chat, and what I mean by that is if you're on the Facebook or the YouTube channel or Sam channel, when you put in a comment, could you please put your location and not, and most locations I'm going to know, but put like the community you live in and the county if you can, because that's going to be very important as I relay some of these reports that are coming in, I can find my bearings on the radar and pinpoint it for you. But I really need to know those things. Okay, let me check here. New message. Uh, it's nuts. So pardon me if I get silent here. I'm checking my phone and checking messages just so I can keep up and not get behind on everything that's going on. You hear that? Whoo whoo. That's my text messages coming over my phone. I wanted something unique to tell me what's happening or get my attention, and that does it. Um, okay. Casey saying Glasgow, lots of rain, lightning is terrible. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing too. Eastbrook Trailer Park, Glasgow. Jennifer, thank you. Pretty bad there. So here's just a quick summary of what's going on. And I'll pinpoint a couple of locations because some of you are asking about what about this town, that town. I want you guys to know I wish I could answer everybody individually in the chat, but I can't and keep up with this. It's just me. So bear with me. Everybody in this area of the watch, which is until 11 o'clock tonight, severe thunderstorm watch, all the yellow shaded counties, each and every one of you have the possibility of getting what you're seeing happening right now in other places. So, yes, Litchfield, yes, Bowling Green, yes, Russellville, yes, Columbia, yes, Munfordville, yeah, all those places, all of them. You are likely to get something tonight. Will it be severe? After dark, probably not as bad. This, what we're seeing happening right now, is blowing up because of that very thick, humid air that has been superheated today. And I mean superheated. Current temperature 95 in Bowling Green. This is going to end up being one of the hottest days of the year so far. So you know something has to happen with all that thick mugginess. That's moisture that's in the air. And so the atmosphere uses that moisture that's been heated up, lifts it up into the air with that boundary that you see, that red line that you see there from stretching from about where those thunderstorms are to the west of us, all the way over to Glasgow. That is a boundary that is helping lift or trigger all of these thunderstorms. And there's going to be more. There's going to be more that develop into tonight. And then a couple of more rounds tomorrow. I'm sorry. I know we've got Thunderfest at the Corvette Museum Amphitheater. We've got there's other fireworks shows that are going on, Barren River Lake and different places. This is not good news, and that this is kind of the kind of atmosphere that we're going to have all throughout the weekend, and not just today and tomorrow, but Sunday, Monday, and the 4th, which is Tuesday. So make sure you pay attention to this. When and where these storms happen, is one big question mark. Now, that's not a fault of mine for not knowing the weather. I know what it's doing. I just described it to you. But all of the forecasters, including the National Weather Service, are like, when these things want to get going, they're going to get going. Where they get going, let's just say in our area. They can't specifically say, Litchfield, you're going to get hit. Bowling Green, you're going to get hit at 10 after 7. No, that's impossible. And I know all these apps and all these things, they'll tell you on your watch or your phone, it's going to rain in 10 minutes at your location. With this kind of atmosphere that we're dealing with, all of that is probably inaccurate. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm being real with you, as I always am. A lot of this is just, it's going to happen. Where it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, let's just say in our area anytime. So, my best answer to you, and it's not the answer that you want, anywhere, anytime, the next several days through the holiday weekend. That's what's happening right now. We kind of had an idea this morning, if you watch my podcast, that something was going to blow this afternoon, but where was it going to pop? I didn't know. Here comes a new warning, I guess. Yep. Okay. This is for parts of Allen and Monroe.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for western Monroe County in south central Kentucky, eastern Allen County in south central Kentucky, southern Barron County in south central Kentucky, until 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 6:07 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 10 miles southwest of Glasgow, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour.
Ooh, look at this.
Expected hazards include 70 miles per hour wind gusts and ping pong ball size hail.
Pong pong?
This is a radar indicated threat. The following effects are expected. People and animals outdoors will be injured.
I'm sorry.
Expect hail damage to roofs, siding, windows, and vehicles. Expect considerable tree damage. Wind damage is also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and outbuildings. Locations impacted include Fountain Run, Dry Fork, Lactusel, Gumtree, Maynard, Freetown, Lucas, Haywood, Austin, and Tracy. Prepare immediately for large hail and damaging winds. People outside should move and shelter inside a strong building. Stay away from windows.
Oh, so much for artificial intelligence. Yes, that's what it is. I just thought it was funny because he said pong pong size hail, and then he said boog tussle instead of bug tussle. All right, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but anyway, it just struck me as funny. It still is. Okay, so the core, the core of that storm now is headed. Look how it's turned south. I mean, it was going south and east, but now it is. I mean, it has dropped due south out of Glasgow. Glasgow's right there. And now down to Peter Creek, Etoile, Austin, Tracy, and now Fountain Run. Look out. Fountain Run. You're right now, if you're in Fountain Run, look to the north and you'll see what's coming. Lots of lightning, lots of rain, lots of big hail. Damaging wind threat as well. That's your new warning. And it's going to head right due south. Even Gamaliel, even though you're not in the warning, Gamaliel, Tompkinsville, you're not in the warning. You're right on the edge of it, and it's going to affect you too. But the core of this thing, let's check the hail. Oh my goodness. Whew. That is a big core of hail. From hail now falling from Haywood to Bristletown down 31E down toward what is it, 63? Yeah, 63 or 163. I get those mixed up. 163 goes to T-ville, right? 63 is the one that kind of goes through and goes down toward Fountain Run, isn't it? I don't know. Somebody will correct me. I'm just trying to remember the highways through that area, but Lord have mercy. So it's right on the edge of Barren River Lake. There it comes. Roseville getting it. Cooktown, Peter Creek, Austin. Yeah, that's right at the lake. Wow. That's a lot of hail. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to get that on there. Whew. Boy, oh boy. And there's hail with these up here too. Notice the tornado warning is gone from that. It didn't last long. That's why I said it looked too broad of a rotation to be a tornado. I don't know why they pulled the trigger on that, but oh well. Okay. I keep Sam up just a little bit where I can hear it in the background because the warnings will come across there. If you don't have a weather radio, you can listen to Sam 100.7 and you'll hear instant bulletins. The moment the weather service hits that trigger, you'll hear it come across your radio. There's no delay. Okay. Uh oh man, you guys are having fun with pong pong. Yeah. I don't know why. I've not heard it that computer guy say pong pong before. Okay. Uh, Let me see. I'm sorry I got carried away there. It's just too funny. And look, uh, when you, for those that don't know, when you see me get concerned, when I tell people, when you see, you can read my face and tell this is serious. It's time to get serious. You'll see me serious. This is bad weather, yes, but not serious enough to where I'm just like, like that. So don't take me wrong when I giggle at stuff like that because it's like I just want to keep you guys calm and let you know that yeah, there's serious weather going on, but I also want you to be at ease. I don't want you to panic. Panic is the worst thing you can do. There is no reason to panic with any of this. We're not getting a tornado outbreak, nor do I foresee one. Uh, so, just I'm trying to get you to remain calm. Some people get very nervous with these storms, and I get that. I used to, but I got out of it by learning all I could about the weather. And once I started learning about the weather, it just, all of that fear went away. And you can do the same thing. I just want you to be able to go, you know what? Yeah, there's hail and there's some wind, and we may get a tree down or something like that. The power may go off, but I'm not going to freak out about it because I'm still here. I'm still alive. I'm still okay. See, are you going to look at the glass half full or half empty? You could be an optimist or a pessimist. It's your choice. I'm saying, and I'm only saying this, I'm not getting on to anybody. I'm only saying this because I went through it. I grew up that way. Uh, in my family, as the oldest of three, there's four of us kids. Let's see, one, two, three. Yes, four. That's right. Anyway, as the oldest of four kids, I was the scaredy cat. Every time it come up a cloud, didn't have to storm, just come up a dark cloud. That would be it for me. I'd be under my bed or in a closet. No threat of tornadoes, just a cloud. I'm serious. Ask my brothers, ask my sister. They'll tell you. I was just afraid until I said, you know what? They're not afraid. Other people I see are not afraid. I need to learn what's going on about the weather so I won't be afraid. And that's what I did. And that led me to a career in weather. I didn't think it was going to be my career, but I became enamored with it so much that I decided this is what I want to do, among other things, radio, music. I'm multifaceted, but this is how I got involved in weather. So, no one should be able to live their life being afraid of storms. A natural concern is one thing, but if you're prepared and if you pay attention and you know the signs, you know the warnings, you know how to protect yourself, and all of that, most of the time you're going to be okay. These storms are going to make a lot of noise, a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and a lot of problems. But these are just problems. They're just interruptions in life. These are not the kind of storms that are going to just wipe you out. Okay. When that happens, you will see a difference in me and it will be unmistakable. Some of you have seen it. Some of you have seen it on television when it's been bad enough and I have to come on and say, we're getting reports that people have lost their lives. I never want to have to do that, but I have in 30 something years of television and covering the weather. So you'll know when you see me panic, well, not panic, but when you see me put on that face that it's serious, deadly serious, then you can be really concerned, worried even. But this, no, this is not. You need to like I said, you need to take shelter because you don't want to get pummeled by hail. You don't want to get struck by lightning. You don't want to get knocked over by the gusty winds. Yes, that's this type of situation. But if you're indoors, you're going to be fine. This is not the kind of storm that's going to blow your house over or be anything like that. Okay. I felt like somebody needed to hear that. So thank you for allowing me to uh, go into that. Let's see. Yeah, there's still some pong pong out there. I'm going to use that forever now. I'm going to there's pong pong size hill. Okay. This continues to be the big trouble spot. Now, you may say, I can't really tell anything from that radar, like what you're looking at. Well, here's the thing. I could smooth it out, but I don't want to because uh, this is Doppler radar. And when you get this close, it gets pixelated. That's all the little blocks of color that you see. I could smooth it out, but when you smooth it out, it's a misrepresentation of what's happening with the radar and what it's seeing. Those pixels help me define a little bit better what's going on with that storm. I've taken many, many courses in radar imagery and interpretation through the years at going to conferences and learning this stuff. And this is the best way to see it. It may not look the best on your screen, but it really tells a story of where the worst of the weather is. And I can tell you that just looking at this, the worst is right here where you see these kind of gray, purplish gray looking areas. And here's the other thing to note: the clustering of all the lightning strikes is in that same area. So I can, even from this vantage point, just looking at the reflectivity, that's where the worst of the hail is going on. So let's change product, look at the hail, and there's your core right there in that same spot. So what's happening is we get the buildup of the storm. This is the main core. Okay. Once this rains itself out and all the hail and everything comes down, and it's going to be noisy and fierce and crazy for a few minutes, what happens is winds come down out of that storm. It collapses just like you think. It builds up, and then all of a sudden everything comes down, and it comes down with such a force that it can knock over trees, power lines. It could throw down a bunch of rain and hail and wind, lightning, and then, oh, it's done. But when when all this stuff comes out of the storm, it builds something behind it. Another little boundary gets formed. And what happens? We get new cells that build up back behind it. That's what I mean by back building. So that's what I see happening here. Big collapsing storms, they're done, but back behind it, these little boundaries, the cooler air comes in, takes over for a few minutes. That storm is exhausted, but then stuff gets lifted back up into the atmosphere, and you get new cells that form back behind it. And that is exactly what's happening with that storm in Barron County, now moving into Monroe County. See? So you can put this into motion. See how this is. Now, watch. I'm doing a little weather 101 for you. See how this is the main cell. Okay. Now I'm going to draw a line right here where there was nothing. See nothing? And then all of a sudden, boom. And look at this. Boom. And boom. See, it's throwing out boundaries now west of it. And then you get new storms. And this is a problem that can also cause flash flooding, because then you get cells that train, we call it train, over the same areas. And when that happens, you get too much water, too much rain from those collapsing storms, and you get flash flooding. And I bet that's occurring too in those same areas that are just getting hammered. Let's see. Okay, that's not going to give me what I want. I'm trying to, let's see. Yeah, that's a lot of hail right there. This is just another way to look at it through the Doppler radar, different products. No, that's not good. There hasn't been enough. The radar can also show the amount of rainfall, but there's not enough going on to accumulate yet. But it will. But just look at all that lightning. That's just lightning. Look at all that. That's crazy. That's crazy lightning. Whew. So now that Monroe County severe thunderstorm warning going to continue for a few more minutes, and then it's going to move into Middle Tennessee toward Lafayette and Red Bowling Springs, down into Macon County and Trousdale, parts of Clay County, Tennessee. So if you live right there, and again, like I said, Gamelia, even T-ville, Overhome, you're going to get some of this, but most of this is moving due south. Yeah. So it started to take on a more southerly direction. Okay. Being steered by upper winds, pushing all that due south. So it's going to go right into Tennessee. And then back here, look at this, Alvaton. That's where a new cell has formed out of the main core to the west. So we could see more of these back build toward Bowling Green. Right now, it's not threatening. Concert in the Park, which is downtown at Circus Square, but we'll have to watch and see. That one is that new scan you just saw, strengthening that one. You see that little white purple, kind of a purple whitish core there. That could be producing some hail. Let's check it out. It's trying to. weak, weak hail, small, maybe pea size, but this over here, large hail. And again, some of the larger hail may be melting before it even reaches the ground. So it could be starting like quarter, $half size. And then as it comes down and hits that really warm air, current temperature in Bowling Green, well, here is 92 at my house. Oh, it has come down to 91. It was at 95 just a little bit ago. But it has come down because it's cloudy now. You know, I can even hear thunder off in the distance, and I am right there. By the way, here's here's downtown Bowling Green. Circus Square is in there. Here's Sam, the radio station on Campbell Lane, and here's where I live, which is in Plano, off Scottsville Road and Plano Road. So I'm in that area, so I can look. If I look out my window that direction to the east, I'll be able to see this building, that storm building up. So again, just a little bit of weather 101 for you, because I know sometimes you look at this and going, "What am I looking at? What is all that? I don't understand. What is all the colors and what does it mean and all of that?" Sometimes we get into weather and we do the weather and we assume you guys know all this. So I just like explaining it. Yes, it takes time. On TV, you don't have time to explain it. That's why I love doing it this way, because I can take all the time I want. There's not somebody yelling at me going, cut. I used to get that all the time and I'd get so mad. I'm like, I haven't explained to people what's going on. Leave me alone. It's one of the reasons why I just, I'm like, I've had enough. Anyway, there's more developing. As you can see, there's other warnings now in parts of Illinois, Carbondale getting some of that, El Dorado or El Dorado, I think they say, down toward the Ohio River. Flood warnings now up towards Sturgis, Providence, Madisonville, Arlington. See, this is all collapsible storms. That's not tornado. I don't know why they pulled the trigger on the tornado warning. Usually I don't question the weather service. In fact, we have a great partnership. I've had a partnership with them for over 40 years before I even came to Southern Kentucky. Nashville, Paducah, Louisville, the three main weather service offices here. I've known people from 40, 45 years ago, even, when I was just starting out, and they mentored me. They helped me learn a lot. And so I've very few times questioned them, but I'm sure they had their reason why they did what they did. I'm not going to say they did it in error, but they saw something for a few minutes, kind of like yesterday here in Bowling Green. We saw something for just a few minutes. If you were watching me, you could see it. Rotation. Then it just went away. That's probably what happened back in Hopkins County just a few minutes ago. Okay. All right. I'm just reading some of your chat messages. Yeah, there is a new version of what I'm using. I use Restream to do all this and put up the graphics and the radar and all the stuff that I do. They're coming out with a new version which will allow me to just quickly insert photographs and put them up here. So yes, I see your message about that. That's good. So soon we're gonna have that as another improvement. Dawson Springs being hammered. Yep, that's south of Arlington. That's south of where that cluster to the west is. Um, yeah, so I'm getting some folks now watching from Springfield, Illinois, Lexington, different places. Welcome. This is mostly about Southern Kentucky. So, but as you just saw me go back and show to the west of us, there are more multiple storms. These coming out of St. Louis. Look at that. St. Louis has been hit pretty good. And notice it's all along that boundary. Here's some around Marion, Illinois, Carbondale. They have gone severe. That's why you see the yellow box. Yellow box means severe thunderstorm. Yellow box like this, grayed in or just faded, that's the severe thunderstorm watch. But when you see the bigger, thicker boxes in yellow or orange, however it may look on your screen, that's the severe thunderstorm warning. Okay, that means it's happening. And they're all popping up along that boundary. It just got so hot and muggy today. It's just, I was thinking, even when there was nothing on the radar screen, I'm like, something has got to pop. Here we go. It's popping. Here comes a new warning. This is going to be for southeastern Warren County. Yep, that's what we're looking at. That back building storm. Let's listen to it.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for western Monroe County in south central Kentucky, Allen County in south central Kentucky, south central Warren County in south central Kentucky, south central Barron County in south central Kentucky, until 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 6:30 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 7 miles southeast of
you can read along with what he's saying.
Tompkinsville, moving southeast at 20 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Scottsville, Tompkinsville, Gamaliel, Fountain Springs, Oak Forest, Gumtree, West Fork, Maynard, and Harlan Crossroads. Trees and power lines were blown down in Barron County with these storms.
See?
1-inch diameter hail was reported near Glasgow.
See?
Pong ball-sized hail fell at Barron River Lake.
He said it again.
For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
Pong pong. But what did he say? He said Gamaliel. Listen, everybody has trouble with Gamaliel. I always said Gamaliel because I heard somebody else say it. Then I was corrected. It's Gamaliel. And he said Gamaliel. But he said pong pong. He said pong pong size hail again, didn't he? You heard it. That wasn't just me thinking it last time. He said pong pong. I know somebody out there is going to think, this guy's crazy. He's not taking this seriously. Look, I am. But gosh, everybody just calm down. We're okay. Everything's going to be fine. I'm going to say, yeah, Colleen is saying in the chat room, pong pong forever. I'm going to call it pong pong from now on. Oh, that's so funny. I needed to, no, I don't see, I could tell the weather service, you need to get your computer voice guy that does the warnings, and it's computer generated. you know that that's not a real person talking, and he comes through your weather radio the same voice. Um, uh, it's uh, it's all computer generated, but they need they need some better pronunciation of some of the cities, towns. Huh. Pong pong. Gamaliel. I know AI, isn't it a wonderful thing? Um, Getting reports here. It's bad in Alvaton. Yeah, I bet it is. Because let me see here. Yeah, that's where that storm started to back build. And see, I can hear the thunder. Here I am, right there, home, Scottsville Road, Plano Road. I'm in between, right there, north of Plano itself. And this is the storm, and that's hail. That's hail coming down, moving right there over Halifax and Settle. That's moving into Allen County, of course. As you go down 231, there's Alvaton, Drake, Pope, Scottsville. Now Scottsville is about to get hit with some big hail and heavy rain. Let me check. Uh-huh. See, again, see now Glasgow, you're fine now. Well, I mean, there's still some lightning, there's still some rain going on, but as far as the hail has moved south of Glasgow. And each one of these are thunderstorms that have just towered up. This one rains itself out, pushes down to the ground, build this one. This one's going to rain out, push more wind and rain and uh, heavy, maybe large hail out of that one. And it has just built this one, and this one collapsing is building this one. And you may see one back build. I may see one back build here where I am in Plano and in Bowling Green, because these things are collapsing and then they're building west. And the reason why that's happening is because when the storms collapse and hit the ground, they get this rush of air that goes back up. And if we get a wind pushing from, say, east to west, it's going to push all of that to the west. It's kind of backwards. But right now, downtown Bowling Green, concert in the park, you're fine. But we got to watch to see if we get any back building here. I know you can look off to the east if you're out there at Circus Square or the airport or anywhere else. You're looking off to your east and you're thinking, that doesn't look good. And you're probably hearing thunder at this point. Uh, so we'll just have to watch this to see if it's going to continue to build. You can watch it build. Look, watch it. West, west. It keeps on. They collapse and then they push west. Crazy, crazy. It's happened before. I'm not saying crazy that it's not ever happened before, because it's happened before. But it's just these kind of things are like, it's a Spock moment. That's what I call it. Fascinating. Spock from Star Trek. Fascinating. It is. Halifax, you're getting hammered right now. Scottsville about to be. Fountain Run still getting hammered. Now this thing is starting to curve a little bit more, I noticed. Not only is it going south, but it's starting to curve a little bit more, kind of like this. So we may need a warning for Sumner County, Tennessee. Yeah, this is moving south, but some of this is starting to back build, and so we'll need to watch for that kind of back building to go on. It may start to encroach on Bowling Green here shortly. And you see where the boundary is. That's the front. That's been a trigger this afternoon for those storms. So we got to watch that. The storms that are out of the Sam area, kind of on the edge, they're turning more south as well. Look at that. Nortonville, Morton's Gap, White Plains, all of that's turning south. And you get this one on this edge that's turning a little more southwest. So, and those have hail cores inside of them as well. It's just the way these boundaries are behaving this afternoon. And, um, once these storms start to get out of the way, things will settle down, I think, after we lose the daytime heating, things start to settle down. I think we'll be there's going to be thunderstorms tonight, but I don't think they're going to be kind of like these. Okay. So I'm getting my friend in Franklin who said that storm was a close call, so their event is canceled or postponed, I think, or canceled. But that storm just quickly dissipated back there, um, down there in Franklin. But here's the thing, because this is back building, like I showed you, described to you, then it could encroach on Bowling Green and Franklin as this moves further south. It could start building further west. So it's probably a good idea. And then, uh, then we could see what happens. We could see a convergence because here is the front. This one, as it starts to build further south and west, may try to meet up with the one coming in from the northwest right along this boundary. And these two could connect. Now, what happens if that happens? It's just going to form one big area of rain. It doesn't mean anything special is going to happen, but it could mean these two things are going to meet and come together and just kind of align with the front, with that, which the front is on the rim, the outer rim of that big ridge of high pressure, which is all the way down into Louisiana. But it's a strong ridge, and that's why these storms are going up over the top of that ridge and then being steered down our direction, has been for the last couple of days and will continue. This, what you're seeing right here, is going to continue all weekend. Now, like today, you may have a majority of the day to get outside, go to the lake, do a cookout, and you're good. But then there's going to be these times, and like I said at the very beginning of this podcast, um, there's going to be those times when they just pop up anywhere, anytime. I cannot answer the question, is it going to hit my house? Is it going to hit this town or that? I can't. I can't. You can ask anybody else and they will go, that's a good question, but I really don't know the answer. The way these storms behave, they're not the kind that you can pinpoint that it's going to hit here, it's going to hit there, and it's going to hit at 6:50. No, that's that you can't do that. If somebody can do that, then they would be probably millionaires because then they would bet on horses and football contests and win every time. I'm just being real with you. Look at this core now. Halifax. Oh my goodness. See, now we're starting to get some really deep purple color. Deep purple, smoke on the water. I'm sorry. Just every time I say deep purple, I think of that right there. That is right on the Warren Allen County line, the Halifax community. That is some incredible hail, I bet you. Let's take a look at the hail product. Boom. Whew. Now see how these have moved on further south. Fountain Run's getting the hail, and intense lightning and very heavy rain. That was from that one cell that came through Glasgow, and then it started producing, it started having babies. Anybody with me? That's kind of what's happened here, reproducing. And now these have produced new cells and they are reproducing. And look at that. Look at the cluster of lightning from Finney. Of course, that's Barren River Lake, all the way down 31E, north of Scottsville, intense lightning and large hail, but specifically in the community of Halifax. That's where the worst of the weather is going on right now. Just big hail, damaging wind, lots of intense lightning. And I mean, electricity city is going on there. That's not good. But it'll be over with soon. See there? It just, all of this now just reproducing, except now we're seeing some reproducing going on east over toward Flippin and Gamale, Tompkinsville. Now starting to see some hail cores starting to pop. See that? Yeah. So that's why this entire area is in that thick yellow, orange looking box. That is the severe thunderstorm warning. And for good reason, because that's throwing down some nasty stuff. Whew, my goodness. Now we're starting to get new sales popping in Franklin, Simpson County again. Not severe, but that'll have to be watched. And now look. So this is interesting. I think what's happening here is we had this outflow building new storms, new cells west. I just showed you that not 20, 30 minutes ago. Now they're starting to push east. See that? See that? Look, it's pushing east and south. I think because this is just a guess, but I think we're starting to get a push from that complex and it's starting to push up against this one. Eventually, I think these two are going to meet, like I said a few minutes ago. That's fascinating. It's a Spock moment. It's fascinating. It really is. This whole last few days have been completely fascinating because it's just been something that we don't see that often. But there you go. Let me read some of your chats here. Getting dark in Bowling Green around Cave Mill. Yep. Teresa saying, seems these storms have a mind of their own. Absolutely. They all do, actually. But yes, you're correct. I know what you mean. William is off of Finney Road. Lightning is bad. The real dangerous stuff seems to be over. Temperature dropped from 97 to 77. 20-degree drop with the intense rain that comes down, the hail, the gusty winds. Yes, you can drop 20 degrees in just a matter of minutes with these kind of storms as they come through. Allen County Emergency Management reporting hail of 1 inch there in Scottsville. In Holland, that's in Allen County, wind damage, trees down in a couple of places. This is all from the National Weather Service chat room. Quarter size hail in Scottsville. Okay, I'm going to say it. Official report here from Barron County, Lucas, that I just showed you, where the big hail's coming down. Pong pong size hail in the Lucas community, right there at the lake. It doesn't say pong pong, it says ping pong, but pong pong size hail. I'm saying it now from now on in the Lucas community. Those are official reports coming in, and that's what I was just showing you on the radar. See, that's why I do this. This is to educate you what I'm looking at, what I'm seeing. It's just like, when a doctor looks at an x-ray or an MRI, it's the same thing when we look at radar, but we have to interpret those things correctly so that we know that what we're talking about when we talk to you. So yes, pong pong size hail, Barren River Lake. And then a 20-degree drop in temperature. That's just crazy. Jordan, with all the reproducing, why have weathermen not just come up with some contraceptives for thunderstorms? Oh, Lordy. Jordan, you're thinking like I do, and that's dangerous. But I like it. That's very good. Well, they do cloud seeding, or they have. I don't want to get I don't want to get TMI, but you know, uh, storm contraceptives. That's a first. I have not heard of that before. Uh, and of course, there are people that believe every jet that goes up, airplane and all that, are spraying us with something, which is just malarkey. Oh, Lord, I don't even want to get into that. If you believe that, you don't need to watch this at all, or my weather, please. um, oh, that's so funny. Severe winds, pouring rain again. Union County, yeah, you're getting it back. That's the western part of this whole system. So now Scottsville, look at that over Franklin. Look at that building right there. And I just told them, you need to pack up and get everything in and just cancel. They canceled. Now they've got everything covered up, and look, just within that span of a few minutes, boom. It's good. I'm glad they paid attention, but you can see how the outflows from these storms, I should have let me draw that a different way. Whoops, get my pen back here. Outflows from these storms are building new storms. And this, see where it's going: Hopkinsville, Elkton, eventually Springfield, probably Nashville. This is pushing this way. So the two of these things are going to eventually come together over time. And it's right there along that front, right there. And the periphery, or the outer dome of the high pressure. I know I did a lot of drawing there, but that's what's happening. And it's going to keep happening over and over all weekend long. And it's not going to rain continuously, but the threat is certainly going to be there. So this is why I say take your phone with you, take a weather radio with you if you can. And if you're out on a boat, out on Barren River Lake or Green River Lake or any lake, any body of water, and you're out there, the sun's out and it's hot, and you're thinking, man, this is great. 4th of July weekend, woohoo. But if you don't have a way to get warnings, like on your phone, stuff doesn't ping you or tell you what's going on, you're in trouble. I'm just telling you, you're going to be in trouble. You've got to have a way to know the weather, to be safe. You just got to. This stuff means business. And when it comes down and hits you, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that was going to happen. That's not on me. That's on you. I am that real about it. And I don't have anybody over my shoulder telling me, you can't say that. I used to. But I mean, when I cover weather and it's serious, I mean business, and I'm going to tell you exactly. I'm going to tell you whether you like to hear it or not. It may not be the thing you want to hear, but I'm going to tell you that's your responsibility, not mine. My responsibility is that I take the time to warn you and prepare you what's coming. And when I can, tell you when it's coming and where it's coming. But in this situation, this morning, if you watched my podcast, which I do every day of the week, 7 days a week, early in the morning, I told you that some of this would blow up this afternoon. And I kept waiting, kept looking at my watch. I'm thinking, is this going to happen? And right about that time, boom. And now look what's happening. So you can't just assume that it's not going to happen or it's not going to hit your place. That's the thing I get with tornado warnings and got a lot with when I was on television. People would send nasty notes in comments and emails, and even a long time before social media and internet, they would send letters after the storms and say, you just took too much time on television just to hear yourself talk and yada, yada, yada. And I wanted to watch my show. And there were a couple of times I'm like, folks, I'm sorry, your show's going to have to take a back seat. There will always be reruns. This is serious. And then people still got mad, complained to my bosses. My bosses would say, if you can keep it shorter next time or not go so long next time, and I'm like, this is serious. I'm going to take as long as I need. So that's why I'm grateful for social media and YouTube and this platform. And it's just me. Nobody's telling me what to do, what to say, how long to say it. I just choose to go on and talk about it and cover it for as long as I want. Now I've got hot pizza waiting in there. It's been in there for about an hour. I'm like, no, this is more important. I'm at home. This is my home. This is my home studio. Nobody is making me do anything, but this is what I love to do. And I do it for you guys, for whoever watches. I don't care how many watch. I'm not looking at the numbers. I don't care. I just want to keep you guys safe. Really. And I want to follow it too because I'm interested. I'm interested in pong pong size hail. Somebody's going to think Chris Allen's had a little something, something to drink. No, but after this, maybe. So let's see here. Oh boy. Bearded Havoc. That's a great handle. No one would get mad if you ate while you do the weather, brother. Well, I appreciate that, but we'll give it a few minutes here. I think we're going to be about done with some of this. Um, so, I'm hearing a nice rolling rumble of thunder. Yeah. Matthew says, don't worry, I'm drinking enough for the both of us. You dog. I got you. I hear you. That's so funny. Okay, no new warnings. All the warnings have expired. The warnings are all now into Tennessee except for these back here toward Christian. This one toward Christian. Oh, no, it went away. Do you see it? It went away. Severe thunderstorm more. Oh, maybe not. Spoke too soon. Severe thunderstorm warning for Allen County until 7:45. It's 7 o'clock right now, by the way. Here it comes. 1-inch hail in Scottsville, by the way.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Allen County in south central Kentucky until 7:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 6:59 p.m. Central Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms were located along a line extending from 6 miles northwest of Scottsville to 10 miles north of Lafayette, moving south at 10 miles per hour.
Or Lafayette.
Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour.
They say Lafayette
hail
in Tennessee.
These storms have had a history of damaging winds and large hail.
Mm-hmm.
Severe weather has been reported by the public. The following impacts are expected. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include Scottsville, Fleet, Rodimer, Oak Forest, West Fork, Maynard, Petroleum, Halifax, Alonzo, and Chapel Hill. For your protection, move to an interior room on the lowest floor of a building.
Okay. So that's they just issued that new severe thunderstorm warning for Allen County, where we're seeing that core of hail, and just got a report of 1-inch hail from the National Weather Service weather spotters in Allen County. 1-inch diameter hail. So we're talking about nickel to almost maybe quarter size or close to quarter size hail. So, and right there, Fountain Run, Gamale, up towards Scottsville, still getting, that hail core. And then that over Franklin, which we were looking at a minute ago, that's trying to work its way back to the west and connect with that. My lovely wife is bringing me, just to show you, it's Diet Coke, well, Coke Zero, and thank you, dear, pizza. Thank you. People were saying I needed to eat, so okay, yeah, I look like I need to eat, don't I? Thank you, dear. See, and this is another thing I like. I can be as informal as I want. I think if television would get more like that, they'd probably have more viewers. Because TV stations are all wondering where all their viewers are going. They're going here. I mean, they're going to social media and videos and YouTube and all of that, where you can be long form and you don't have to be formal and you can just talk like I'm talking to you guys like if you were sitting right in front of me. I don't want to do all this formal stuff. I mean, I get it, but sometimes it's just when it's like this, I just want it to be free form. See, now this connection is starting to happen. Look at that. See how close now? Elkton, you're getting something building out ahead of this main core. And now we get the back building going on here, connecting together. And eventually these are going to connect and everything's going to go south and east. So, starting to make sense to you now? 1 + 1 = 2. I need a drink. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Colleen, where's the pizza from? It's Pizza Hut. I mean, we change it up every once in a while. And it's good. Breadstick, marinara. It's just cheese pizza. We decided to do it. We didn't want a bunch of stuff on the pizza tonight. Eric is saying, Nothing about Hart County. I'm switching over. Well, you've got something that just actually, in all seriousness, you've just had something form right there outside of Mammoth Cave, southwest of Munfordville, lightning and a little core. Look at that. And that's away from this boundary. So what's happening is all of the stuff that came through Glasgow earlier, it's as these things collapse, it's starting to throw out these little boundaries, which will lay around here even tonight and tomorrow and maybe be reheated and form new storms. That happens sometimes. And that's probably what's happening right there in the southwestern corner of Hart County, outside Mammoth Cave area. So a boundary has popped up and formed that storm. So that one will have to be, watched for new stuff to happen. And look at this. Look at that right there. See, this is throwing out new boundaries as these storms collapse. And boom, around Elkton, Todd County, now into Logan County, along 68, 80, we're getting new storms. Huh. Amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. Fascinating. And there may be some pong pong size hail going on with these as well. See, you guys got me going on that pong pong. Severe thunderstorm warning for parts of Allen and Simpson because of that back building now to Franklin. Well, I'm glad I told them to get out of there and pack up. Because look at Franklin now. Wow.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for Simpson County in south central Kentucky, southwestern Allen County in south central Kentucky, until 7:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:07 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Portland, moving southeast at 25 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts and half-dollar-size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected. Hail damage to vehicles is expected. Expect wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees. Locations impacted include New Row, Salmons, Blackjack, Mayo Shale, Schleiser, Clare, Guinness, Milroy Ford, Mount Ariel, and Pedden Mill.
Pedden Hill?
Protection move
Pedden Mill?
A room on the lowest floor of a building.
How did he say no show? Neo Xiao. Oh my gosh. It's too funny. Those pronunciations are just too funny. Computer AI guy. He's like, Neo Xiao. No show. They're not from around here, I guess. Those computers. They're not Southern computers. They're not Kentucky computers. That's why. Okay, let's take a look. Whoo, baby. Look at the hail cores. Just one after the other. From Halifax, which has been hit already, and then back building west and southwest. You see all the lightning just clustering up right there at the same place, right along the park. 31E from Alvaton, just a little bit outside of Alvaton as you go into Allen County. And there you see it. Big cluster of heavy rain and hail. And then now building back toward Highway 100 and 65 and 31W from Salmons to Franklin, lightning and hail. Blackjack included in that. And watch it build to the west. Look at that. Boom. Boom. Crazy. It's just nuts. It's skipping Bowling Green altogether. So, that's after 7 o'clock. Concert in the park is going on down at Circus Square, and you're okay. If somebody's watching me from downtown Bowling Green, you're good for now. There's nothing around us except I hear thunder. And so, again, but something could form. This could throw out some outflow boundaries and we get new development. It's very possible. Looks like we may be getting a little bit of hail along 6880 between Elkton and the Logan County line, but it should be small hail right now. And this is weakening. This is weakening. And we're getting closer to sundown now. And so a lot of the rain that has already fallen and then the clouds from these thunderstorms kind of hanging over, that's helping bring down the temperature and the instability. So some of this is going to rain itself out. And especially after dark, um, some of this will fade away. But I do think there could be some more thunderstorms overnight. Maybe not this potent, but still stormy at times. See how these are trying to connect together? And this cluster was miles away from this one when it was over Glasgow, but now look how they're wanting to meet up and join right there, right on the boundary, right where the front is. And then you have these renegade ones. There's one forming up there in Ohio County, and then the one I showed you in Hart County trying to come together. It is fascinating. It really is. Um, let's see. William, as someone who grew up in Philadelphia and New Jersey, my deepest condolences that you're eating pizza. I know you want. Hey, I would love to have some New York style pizza, or but I tell you, my favorite is Detroit style pizza. Golly, Motor City. Oh, that's good stuff with the burnt crust and stuff on it. That's what I like. But I'll just take whatever right now because I'm hungry. I usually eat supper about 5 o'clock, but not today. Um. So okay, bearded havoc. So is there nothing with these storms that BKO wants to go live? I'm just curious because it just took a power flash. That was a little bit closer. Now I hear thunder. And Sam went off. Uh oh. Well, I don't know. Since I haven't worked at BKO for almost 4 years. Can you believe it's been that long? Um, I don't know. I don't know really anybody that well now. That's whoa, that's some loud thunder right here at the house. See, it's back building a little bit more. Um, so our signal's still on Sam, but power may have gone off at the station. Let me see. Ah, there's why. Look, that storm built, just built between Sam's studio and my house. So it's wow. I just looked at the window and it was like fly, 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 fly. Yeah. So we have a storm now here at my house. So we probably took a lightning hit where Sam is located, which is on Campbell Lane. So yeah, see, it's popping. It's popping still. This one in Hart County, you see this box, that blue box, it means a special weather statement. It doesn't mean it's a warning, but I bet that goes to a warning because they've boxed it preliminarily. Preliminarily, they've put out a little special weather statement. My goodness, I don't know if the mic is picking that up, but that's pretty intense. That may go to a warning there in Hart County, Cave Land area, Horse Cave, Cave City. Anyway, so the worst of this is still down in Allen County and Simpson County. Whew. I am so glad that they didn't continue with that event in Franklin. I know that's a mess. It's an interruption, like I was saying earlier. You get everything set up, and then you got to cancel. It just happens. Sorry, I know it. It's frustrating. I think I'm hearing hail. Hang on a second. Yep. So, oh, you can see how I'm just wonderfully dressed for this occasion to be on camera. Just my regular old shorts and a t-shirt. So it looks like it's like little pea-size hail that's coming down. Let me take a drink here. So I cannot answer your question, Bearded Havoc. Everybody has their own way of doing it, and since I'm not there, I'm not gonna get into that. And that's just, I don't know what to say. But anyway, here's the current situation. And you can see here's where I live in Plano, and there's a little bit of small hail coming down. It's not that big of a deal, but this is where the big hail is coming down from south of Drake through the community of Pope. And then you go on down to places like Mount Ariel, Temperance, Gold City. There's 65, Blackjack, Franklin right here. Peden Mill, Hickory Flat. This is Highway 100. Hickory Flat, Highland, down to New Row, Alonzo, Chapel Hill, Red Hill. Yeah. So we've got all those areas that are getting the big hail. Butlersville, halfway, that's 231 right there, going into Scottsville, which is right there. So all of this, lots of intense lightning and big hail, along with heavy rain and potentially damaging wind. And it's all trying to connect together. And it probably will. Okay, let me see what this is about here. Oh, a new severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, I guess we're back. This is for southern Logan County.
The National Weather Service in Louisville has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for southwestern Logan County in south central Kentucky until 7:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time. At 7:19 p.m. Central Daylight Time, a severe thunderstorm was located 8 miles southwest of Russellville, moving southeast at 30 miles per hour. Expected hazards include 60 miles per hour wind gusts and half-dollar-size hail. This is a radar-indicated threat. The following impacts are expected.
Let's see how he says Shaco.
Is expected.
Shaco.
Wind damage to roofs, siding, and trees.
Here it comes.
Locations impacted include Russellville, Adairville, Gordonsville, room on the lowest floor.
Keysburg? Now, how did he mess up Keysburg?
Lightning is occurring with this storm. Move indoors immediately.
Skahawk?
Lightning is one of the major
Is that what he
lightning
said?
killers.
For Shaco?
If you can hear thunder,
Oh
you are
my
close
goodness.
enough to be struck by lightning.
I guess that's what he said. I'm not sure. Okay, I see what's happening at Sam. The computer that runs the music has blanked out for a second. Okay. Um, okay. I'm going to attempt right here on the computer to do something. From here, I can log in to the Sam music computer. So while you guys are watching that, I'm going to try to restart. I love technology. I'm a geek. I'm a nerd. I love it. I'm going to attempt to restart the music on Sam from here, from my home. It's just like when I was on TV, I could run a crawl. Like during warnings, I could run a crawl from my phone. I would I would be at a restaurant, severe weather come out, and I'd say, "Watch this, 3, 2, 1," and I hit this, and then the crawl would appear on the TV screen, and people are like, "How did you do that?" It's technology. Love it. Can't be scared of it. Got to use it for the right reasons, of course. Okay. So while you're watching there, okay, let me put in this secret code. Actually, it's Google Authenticator for those of you that are geeks like me to log into the. Yes. Okay. Let me make a few clicks here, and I'm going to be able, you will hear Sam restart. The music will restart here in a moment. Okay, let me click this. Okay, click that. Come on. There's a little bit of lag. Why is it not working? Now that is crazy. Maybe not. Okay, 6:30. Okay, this is what time is it? It's after 7. I've even lost track of time doing this, but just bear with me, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, it's showing the stuff there. Why is it not working? Huh. Interesting. Well, I've never seen that happen before, so I'm not real sure why it's doing that. Hmm. Okay. Something's not right. So when we took that lightning hit, something happened. and it's messed up the Sam computer that plays all the spots and the music and all of that. There are no warnings or anything out at the moment, new warnings. So I'm just telling you. So in case you are worried, okay, let me see if I can. Whew, come on, baby. It's not going to work. So that's why you're not, if you're listening to Sam, you're not hearing music, but you hear the warnings that come out from the Weather Service. And I'm telling you, the lightning is just crazy, crazy lightning. So it can mess up your stuff, mess up your electronics. Um, Gosh. Well, at least we can still get warnings coming through the radios. Just you're not going to hear music until I can get somebody to come in and fix it, or or through I have to call somebody else to do it. Um. All right. Recapping what's going on in the meantime. Intense rain and hail and lightning going on from Franklin, or really just a little south of Franklin, toward Portland, and right along, Mitchellville, that area, down where the Mint and the horse track and all that is, stretching on over through Highway 100, uh, all the way over into Scottsville. Scottsville, you're not getting the worst of it, but it's in between Franklin and Scottsville, right along Highway 100. And then we have new storms. This is the newest warning from south of Russellville. Russellville's you're getting just a hint of this, a little touch of it, but most of it is south of you. So 6880, and then you go 431, out toward Olmsted and Allensville. Out that way is that 96 or 98, I want to say, one of those roads. But then you go south 431 toward Adairville, and then there's Shaco or whatever he called it. He called it Skohoyal. But we know it's Shaco. Out toward that way, you're about to get hit. Down toward Adairville, then Keysburg, and there's the state line to Tennessee. So yeah, see, it's meeting up. These two individual locations are meeting up now, and it's going to just become one big mess as it moves down into Tennessee here in the next little bit. And here in Bowling Green now, you're starting to get some rain, maybe over at the concerts in the park. It's not heavy rain, but starting to get some rain and lightning strikes. So they probably have suspended the concert. So yeah, and that one cell up in Hart County, it's kind of sitting over one spot. Look at that. It just continues to sit in that one spot and rain and rain and rain. And then we've got this that's now formed east of Morgantown in Butler County and up into southern Ohio County. But I can tell you now that we're getting dark outside, or sun's going down, that a lot of this is going to weaken. Some of that southern stuff that you're seeing will go into Tennessee and may wreak havoc for a little while, and then it will start to weaken. Now, overnight, any storms that we get overnight, I think, are going to be non-severe. You may hear thunder, see some lightning, get some heavy rain, maybe even a little small hail, but I don't think they'll be severe like they are now with the big hail. But we'll have some late tonight, probably early tomorrow morning. Then we get a break, and then more come in the afternoon and evening around this time again, and probably play out kind of like it's playing out right now. I'm just saying. Uh, because tomorrow's going to be a lot like today as far as the heat, the humidity, the atmosphere, all of that. All right, we have just hit the 2 hour mark of broadcasting here on YouTube. Let's see. Jordan, how do you actually pronounce Mammatus clouds? It's Mammatus. Mammatus. Those are the curvy undersides that where there's so much up and down motion inside the thunderstorm that they have like these little pouch like, yeah, Mammatus. That's how you pronounce it. That means there's a lot of buoyancy and a lot of up and down motion, a lot of potential for hail and sometimes tornadoes, but not always. But that's usually what happens. Okay. So, lots of thunder. Cora saying electric blinking since the storm started, but now stopped. Whole computer system wipe out from power outage. Eee. Yeah. All right. Severe thunderstorm watch until 11. This is probably going to be over way before 11. And you can see even back behind the big clusters of thunderstorms that have come through and are coming through now. We still see these little clusters back to the west. And there's still some more up here toward Carbondale, Illinois. And boy, that's a pretty good one coming out of St. Louis. It's got a warning on it, severe thunderstorm warning. So, and there's even more back behind it and more back behind it. See how everything's going up and over that dome of high pressure? Look at that. Just a big arc. Look at all that. You see this stuff back in Kansas and Colorado, panhandle of Texas. That's what's coming for us tomorrow. Everything's going to keep forming and riding over that ridge, and you see where it goes. It goes from there up and back down into Kentucky. That's going to keep going. It's going to keep happening all weekend. Severe thunderstorm warning, Robertson, Sumner County. Okay, that's for that moving down into the Springfield and Gallatin area. That's moving out of the Sam area. Now, I am going to do this one more time, show you what's going on, and then I'm going to call it a night, because now that we're losing daytime heating, some of this will begin to fade or move into Tennessee as it's doing right now and out of our area. So, again, some of these storms, like the one up in Hart County, has not prompted a warning. It still could. It's just a lot of rain. There's a little bit of hail with it south of Munfordville, but it looks like it's trying to rain itself out. And you see all this? This is what we call stratiform. This is where just a layer of clouds have formed, and it's just rain. Okay, so that means everything's trying to cool down now because we're getting after sunset, and there's been a lot of rain out there, so the atmosphere has been worked over really well. So that means naturally these things are going to have a harder time to form and hold together. Some of them may into the night, but as far as these really nasty storms like we just saw, they're moving into Tennessee. There's a few more back here, but these are showing signs of weakening. So with that, I'm going to call it an evening and finish my pizza. And here's the thing. Tomorrow, I know there's a lot going on. We got a lot of fireworks shows. We've got Thunderfest, and this is not a good time to have Mother Nature's fireworks going off. But such is the case. So we're going to have to really pay attention tomorrow. If you've got something planned with your family and friends or a cookout, uh, going to the lake, anything outdoors, just please have you a way to get the warnings. Please have a plan for wherever you're going. If something blows up like it did today, just almost like out of nowhere, just clean radar, and then all of a sudden, boom, here come these storms. You need to know what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and not just assume that because the sun is out and it's really hot and muggy, nothing's going to happen. You see what happened today. It is 99% positive that it's going to happen tomorrow, and it's going to happen Sunday and Monday and Tuesday, at least. So, all right. Good deal. I think everybody's like, yeah, okay, good. All right. So I'll conclude this coverage. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate Ace Hardware Marketplace, our sponsor, making all this happen, and the Sam channel. We'll see what tomorrow holds. Hopefully it won't be bad, but it could be. So thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. And thank you for letting me just be me. And, I'm going to try to get Sam fixed here. I'm going to have to make a phone call, get the network people online, get the computer people online, and get them to get this thing going so we can hear some music. I can't stand it when we're off the air like we were earlier in the week and we didn't have music. We were just off because there was no power to the transmitter. I hated that. And a lot of you did too, because I'd get phone calls. You're off the air. Yes. There's no power going to the transmitter, but there's power going to the transmitter. I hear the signal. It's just the computer at the station that plays the music is having an issue. So I need to get somebody on call and take care of that. Everything is weakening. Everything is pushing into Middle Tennessee. So just rest easy. You're still going to hear some thunder overnight, maybe some heavy rain, maybe even a little small hail and gusty winds, but just don't freak out about that. It's just part of what's going on with this whole all the atmosphere around us. Okay, it's just very humid, it's very muggy, and it's got a lot of moisture, and so these things get triggered. Okay, thank y'all. God bless you, and sleep tight. I'll see you later. Yes,